with a trail of blood leading to the edge of the cliff.
So he didn't trust his sister, but that's Athena, right? He didn't trust his sister, so he put the sword in himself. So oh, Kratos is a bad boy. Good job. Today's video is gonna be something different. We're not playing no games, nothing like that. We're actually doing history about God of War. So in my last God of War video, right? This dude in my comment section, right? Shout out to him, he's the GOAT. His name is Melvin Mendoza, right? Now he was telling me basically, I noticed that you didn't have any like really knowledge about Kratos, so I would recommend you to watch the history of Kratos, right? Which I was like, okay, you feel me? Understandable. I have to do it because honestly, I don't really know much about Kratos. Like I don't know the characters or anything like that. I was gonna get this video out earlier, but I'm not gonna hold you. I got off of work.
I went to sleep all day, bitch.
It is currently 10:05 at night, PM. Yes, PM, bro. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I am not about to watch no 2-hour video. I'm sorry. I'm not. We're gonna watch this 10-minute video right here, 3 million views, the story behind Kratos. Let's get it. I literally just spent 10 minutes trying to figure out why I couldn't hear nothing through YouTube, and I finally figured it out, and it took 11 minutes to do it. Let's go.
With a game that has introduced an entire generation to Greek mythology.
Okay.
A game that has created a character so iconic and epic that many people just assume that he must have existed within the Greek pantheon. For those of you still wondering, I am indeed referring to Kratos in the God of War franchise. God of War initially launched in 2005 on the PlayStation 2, and as fun as its fast-paced hack-and-slash combat system was, a large part of its success can be attributed to its story, allowing the player to battle against the fiercest creatures of Greek mythology and bring down the Greek pantheon itself. The story is not much more than your classic revenge and redemption story arc, but its integration of Greek mythology and the creation of a world that brings so many of the gods and monsters that people may have never heard of to life is the main reason that God of War is such a success and why it is loved by millions across the globe.
Damn, she got stabbed.
So the protagonist of our story, as we mentioned earlier, is of course Kratos, a fierce Spartan warrior who began to rise in the ranks as the youngest captain in the Spartan army. He had what looked to be a very promising military career ahead of him. That was until he faced the ever-growing barbarian threat in the east. The battle itself lasted for several hours.
Dang,
but
hours?
The sheer size of the barbarian army was too much for the Spartans to overcome. With the majority of his men slain, the young captain's career looked like it would come to a premature end. But there was nothing that Kratos valued more than victory, so much so that he would be willing to sacrifice everything, including his own soul.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
So he was fighting in the war, and then while he was fighting in the war, he didn't want to lose, so he called Ares and he gave his soul up. I'm guessing like, what? So hold on.
In that moment, Kratos' desperate call to Ares was the only means of victory, but it was a decision that would haunt Kratos for the rest of his existence. The God of War would eventually answer Kratos' call, descending from the sky.
God.
Ares recognized the potential of the young Spartan, and the opportunity to mold him into a perfect warrior. Once Kratos had pledged his life to Ares, the barbarian army were dispatched with ease, and he granted his new apprentice ultimate power. Mere mortal weapons were now beneath the God of War's newest servant. Kratos was given weapons forged in the depths of Hades, the Blades of Chaos, and they would be seared into his skin.
That's the part I've been seeing.
An ever-present reminder of the oath that he had taken. He would serve Ares for many years, where he would do terrible and unspeakable things, all in the name of the God of War. In his thirst for victory, Kratos would eventually stumble upon a temple and kill all those inside.
Dang, so innocent
When he
people?
eventually looked down at his final two victims, they were his wife and child. At that exact moment that Kratos knew he could no longer serve Ares.
So Ares had Kratos, well Kratos didn't know at the time, but kill his own wife and children?
He would have to kill the god that once saved his life. The oracle that had warned Kratos not to enter the temple where his wife and child were seeking refuge, then decided to curse the Spartan, She bound the ashes of his wife and daughter to his skin.
And that's why he's white. Oh, bro. Okay, this makes so much sense now. This makes so much sense now.
Terrible deed that he had committed, and it was on that night that the ghost of Sparta would be born. Haunted by his past and all of those that he had murdered, Kratos embarks on a journey to restore the memories of his past life. But when he eventually does, he finds out that his nightmares were in fact the memories of all the people he had slain. He would serve the gods for a further 10 years, until he grew tired of the nightmares. When he eventually confronted the gods about relieving his burden, the goddess Athena promises to absolve his sins.
Now, I did research on Athena. I heard Athena was Kratos' sister, I think, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna say like who he is,
with his nightmares,
who she is.
But only if he assisted her in stopping her brother Ares from destroying Athens. The only way to kill a god was by opening Pandora's box and harnessing its power. But before Kratos was able to do so, Ares hurled a stake from across Greece, pinning him to a wall, and eventually
across where?
Ares hurled a stake from across Greece, pinning him to a wall, and eventually killing him. Kratos then falling into Hades, refused to accept his fate, and fought his way out of the underworld, where he would eventually come face to face with the god. When Kratos opened Pandora's box, the powers of the gods were unleashed, and Kratos would do what no one had ever done before. He was the first mortal to defeat a god.
Dang.
Unfortunately for Kratos, Athena tells him that his sins may be forgiven, but he will never be able to forget what he had done. Upon hearing the news, Kratos leaps from the highest mountain in Greece.
Shit, leaps more like fly, bitch.
Unfortunately for the Spartan, his journey did not end there, as he was saved by Athena, who then tells him that with Ares gone, he must assume the throne and the role of the new god of war.
Okay.
With his newfound godly power, he began destroying and sacking cities at will, which in turn caused some concern amongst the rest of the gods. Attempting to stop Kratos, Athena would resurrect the Colossus of Rhodes. But at this point Zeus would also intervene, offering Kratos the Blade of Olympus, telling him that if he infused the blade with all of his godly power, he would be able to defeat the Colossus. But what Kratos was unaware of was that when he defeated the Colossus, the blade would also drain all of his power and leave him weak and defenseless. Zeus would then reveal himself, killing Kratos and once again sending him back.
Bro, Zeus, you are so weak. You gonna fight him when he exhausted? Well, Zeus, your ass is weak. You're weak. I knew he was fraudulent.
But just like the first time, Kratos would not spend much time in the underworld. This time he would be saved by the goddess Gaia, and the two hatched up a plan to use the Loom of Fate to go back into time and defeat Zeus. Kratos would once again return to the world of the living, but this time with a plan to kill Zeus and any god that stood in his way. For those of you wondering why Zeus would kill Kratos in the first place, Zeus had learnt of a prophecy that stated he would be killed by a marked mortal, and so he previously sent Athena and Ares to find that mortal. Ares would come across a boy with a set of very distinctive markings. This boy was not Kratos, but his younger brother Deimos. When he attempted to save his brother from the god, he was easily brushed aside, and only through the persuasion of Athena was he allowed to live. His failure to protect his brother caused him to join the Spartan army, and in order to honor Deimos, he had a full body tattoo mimicking his birth markings. With Kratos' brother dead...
so Kratos didn't have the marks. He got it to represent his brother because his brother had the marks, right? Let me make sure.
Body tattoo mimicking his birth markings.
Yeah, to mimic.
With Kratos' brother dead, Zeus naturally assumed the prophecy to now refer to Kratos, and thus why he took the opportunity to kill him. Kratos ventured to the land of creation, and after defeating countless enemies, he would use the Loom of Fate to return to the exact moment that he was killed by Zeus, hoping to change the outcome. Kratos reclaiming the blade overpowers Zeus, but before he was able to kill the god, Athena leaps in front of the sword, saving her father.
I see this part.
In her dying breath, Athena tells Kratos that Zeus is in fact Olympus, and if he is slain, Olympus will fall, and all the gods with him. She also tells him that Zeus is his father, which has little sway over the Spartan, as his father did just kill him.
Yeah, I'm about to say, all that father, I would get an ad. Father killing shit don't mean anything, bro.
Using the Loom of Fate, Gaia and Kratos create an army of Titans, recreating the war between the Titans and the Olympians, as they attempt to scale Olympus. There is a huge blow dealt to the Olympians, when together Kratos and Gaia defeat Poseidon, and in turn flood the entire world. When the two finally manage to reach their way to the top, they are greeted by an eagerly awaiting Zeus.
Oh, I remember that fall off the boat,
knocking them both off and leaving them to die. But Gaia manages to hang on, revealing her true intentions and leaving Kratos to die once again.
Oh yeah, I was like, what?
This time in the underworld, Kratos defeats Hades and learns how to kill Zeus. Just like when he killed Ares, he would need to once again open Pandora's box. But this time the box is hidden behind the flames of Olympus, which can only be extinguished by Pandora herself. When Pandora attempts to sacrifice herself, Kratos, seeing her as he would have seen his daughter, attempts to stop her. But despite his best efforts, Pandora eventually breaks free, and she's instead halted by Zeus.
Oh Jesus!
After a
damn, she ran into a wall. Y'all seen that? Oh my God!
Free. After a heated exchange of words, the two would once again fight to the death. This time the confrontation is cut short, when Pandora once again attempts to extinguish the flames, only to be stopped by Kratos again. When Zeus says don't fail, like you failed your family, Kratos lets go of Pandora, and the box is released. When the box is eventually opened, Kratos reveals nothing. The box is empty.
What? So Athena, bro? No, that wasn't Athena. I said Athena. So Pandora did that for nothing? Cause there was nothing in the box. What? So she just sacrificed herself for nothing?
Pandora, and the box is released.
Wait.
Fail, like you failed your family. Kratos lets go of Pandora, and the box is released. When the box is eventually opened, Kratos reveals nothing. The box is empty.
What?
With Zeus and his son looking on to the flooded world that had been engulfed in chaos, they prepared for their final battle. But Gaia, having survived earlier, has now reached the top once again and attempts to kill Kratos and Zeus. The two end up falling inside
I need her to die. Like the fact that she just betrayed my dude like that.
Of Gaia's chest, where Kratos would impale both Zeus and Gaia's heart, killing them both. With this final blow,
bro, this is low-key a spoiler to the God of War 3. What? I might as well not play this. Nah, I'm joking. I'm still finish it, but like, damn, this is a spoiler.
Kratos has now defeated all of the gods and titans, bringing an end to the Greek pantheon. But as you would expect, Zeus had one last trick, releasing his spirit from his body in the final attempt to kill his son, using the memories of his wife and daughter. After dealing with years of guilt and regret, Kratos finally overcomes himself, forcing Zeus' spirit back into his body, where he then proceeds to pummel him to death. I guess some people just have different ways in dealing with their father issues.
I can't wait till I get to that part. Y'all know I'm screaming. Y'all know I'm screaming, right?
And reveals that when Kratos opened Pandora's box for the first time, he unleashed all the evils and fears of the world upon the gods of Olympus. Those of you who are familiar with Pandora's box will know that hope was also released, and it was hope that gave Kratos the power to defeat the gods. With his task now complete, he is asked by Athena to return hope to her, so she can in turn give it to humanity. But Kratos, having no trust left for any god, impales himself, returning hope to humanity directly, rather than giving Athena control. Infuriated by his action, Athena leaves the god of war to die his final death. And we're left with one final cliffhanger. Kratos' body is now gone, with a trail of blood leading to the edge of the cliff.
So he didn't trust his sister, but that's Athena, right? He didn't trust his sister, so he put the sword in himself. So Kratos is a bad boy, bro. Wait.
Infuriated by his action, humanity directly.
Oh my God!
Impales himself, returning hope to humanity directly,
rather than giving humanity, bro.
Infuriated by his action, Athena leaves the god of war to die his final death. And we're left with one final cliffhanger. Kratos' body is now gone, with a trail of blood leading to the edge of the cliff, and we're given one final shot of the world in chaos. For those of you who have seen the trailers regarding the new God of War, we see that Kratos is in fact not dead, and has somehow made it to the Norse world.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that, like, so, since he basically killed himself, right? How did he come back in the new God of War? I was just about to ask that.
With a son named Atreus. We don't exactly know what adventures await the two, but after seeing them encounter Jormungand, we can be sure they'll be just as epic as before. I hope everyone enjoyed today's video.
He didn't really explain it.
We can be sure they'll be just as epic. Adventures await the two. With a son named Kratos is in fact not dead, and has somehow made it to the Norse world, with a son, named Atreus. We don't exactly know what adventures await the two, but after seeing them encounter Jormungand, we can be sure they'll be just as epic as before. I hope everyone enjoyed today's video, and a brief look at the God of War story so far. Feel free to share any thoughts and ideas with me, and if you'd like me to make a video covering the new God of War and Kratos' journey into Norse mythology, then please let me know in the comments below. As always, I've been your host, Mythology and Fiction Explained.
Okay. Alright, you guys, so now we actually know the history. I'ma just say know the history of God of War 3 itself. Bro, I think it's hella cool that like Kratos got the marks as his brother. That shocked the hell out of me. I was like, I thought he always had that, because when they first showed the picture of him, right, I was like, no, that's Kratos, but it wasn't. It was his brother. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is basically the history of Kratos, the Greek mythology. You feel me? If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And hey, I'll see you in the next gameplay. You feel what I'm saying? Because we know you're gonna get back on it. Zeus, I'm coming for you.